This is Coach Steele, excited to talk to you today. Excited to discuss what dividend stocks are briefly, but also just show you an experimental dividend portfolio, a portfolio with dividend stocks that I've been experimenting with, as you see, since 2018. And I'm going to use this more so to show you the benefits of dividend stocks on a small scale with this experiment. But once again, this is Coach Steele, the financial voice of the people. You know that's right. I am the financial voice of the people. We want to break it down and keep it simple. That way we can understand what we're talking about without getting too complicated, and also allowing us to get to the point. And of course, as I get ready to dive into all of this and show you some of my personal investments and how I view dividend stocks, of course, please like, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, share this with someone else after you yourself take part in it. Make sure you watch start to finish. I'm excited about this program. I'm excited about our team. So we're going to huddle up today and we're going to talk about dividend stocks. So as we get into dividend stocks, once again, in my portfolio that you see I've had since 2018, what I've been doing is keeping it simple. I've been adding about $25 a month. And of course, you see this chart here. When you look at the chart, it goes from 2018 all the way to 2024. So a lot of this is easy to read, right? So as we go through this, I was probably doing about $25 a month. $25 a month. There were some other months where I may have added a little more, and some other years where I added a little bit more as well. But it was solely for experimental purposes. And I know some of you are probably asking, well, you have about $5,017.64 in here. What do you mean experiment? Well, basically, I was just taking a little extra money from my budget. I have investments in other places, stocks, real estate, crypto, and I just wanted to use a small amount and see how dividend stocks work. So now that you see the total value of cash or money that I have in here, not cash, but some of this has been invested in the stocks, I'm going to go to the next step. Now, so as we look at this pie chart, M1 Finance, this platform allows you to make a gumbo of investments that you would prefer to make. And what I prefer to do with my pie chart that you see here, which needs to be rebalanced. In the next video, I'll make a video showing you how to use the M1 Finance platform. But of course, my chart needs to be rebalanced, but it allows you to invest in multiple stocks. As you see here, there's different stocks down here: AT&T, Coca-Cola, Walmart, Exxon, Johnson & Johnson, Simon Property Group, Apple. All of those different stocks I have put in this pie chart in my gumbo of investments, but I only invested in stocks that give dividends, and so that yield dividends. And I just wanted to create a small portfolio of dividend stocks. And of course, in that pie chart, M1 Finance allows you to decide what percentage of your investment money that you put in here, where it goes. And so whether you see 20%, 19%, 18% goes to Johnson & Johnson, 12 to Exxon, you can even make a pie within the pie. So when you look at one of the other pies that I made, you see Bank of America, Coca-Cola again. You see a few other dividend stocks as well. Some in the red, most of them in the green. And that is why it is very, very important to diversify your portfolio. Now, when I go back to my main portfolio, you'll see that pie that's within the pie, that's a part of my gumbo. That new pie I only put down is 3%. So every month when I give that $25, this pie only gets 3% of that $25. So it's pretty interesting. When you sort all of this out and you ration it to 100%, you break it up to 100%. And so here's another small pie within the pie, but that one only gets 3% as well. I'm sorry, that one is there, and this one down here only gets 2%. So now you pretty much see a lot of the dividend stocks I invested in. And by doing that since 2018, starting at $0, my ending value is about $5,000, $49.93. So with me being very close to $5,000, this buying power here, that cash too, The total value of my investments are 49.93 and 21 cents. Now, when you look at this, the dividends earned is a little over $406. My market gain, what that is saying is those stocks that I invested in, Apple and a few others that you see in the green, when you add up all of the gain right here, all of that is going to equal $1,156.89. So my total net cash flow, in other words, money that I invested to these stocks so that I can have this value right here, this worth, I invested $3,836.32. Now, out of that 38.36, keep in mind, this is why I like dividend stocks, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why I like dividend stocks is because whenever I get paid, whenever I receive dividends from a company, I reinvest those dividends back into this pie chart. So really, the initial money that I invested, not using any dividends, what you would do to see that is put 38, 36, 32 minus that 406.86. What do we get? So Simon put in about $3,429.46. And so now you see what I used out of my bank account, so to speak, my money that I put in there. But when you add in those dividends, then my net cash that I put inside these investments are now valued at $49.93. So I am up and I'm making a profit. And of course, if you add dividend stocks plus the market gain, you see that it's a little over $1,500 in total that I have received or benefiting from in this investment. Because I haven't received this, I haven't cashed it out, so I can't say I have received it, but I do own it and it is mine. Now, of course, you see here where it says money weighted rate of return. That's how M1 Finance is doing the math on this as far as my rate of return. But, you know, just to do basic math to let you understand what return on investment is when you're talking about dividend stocks. And let me show you something else as well. I want to make sure that you see the dividends as well. So when we look at the activity and we see the dividends, different companies, you may receive dividends once a month. Some companies are quarterly. Regardless, it's I don't want to say free money because you made the investment, but you're receiving these returns, and they may start off small. They eventually might get bigger. As you can see, they range. But I have a variety of companies, so I'm going to have a variety of dividends. And like I told you all, as you see that deposit June 3rd, every month I just put in about $25. And of course, over the years, you see that I'm just continuing to receive dividends. And as this increases in value, then my dividends are going to get much larger. My dividends are going to continue to increase. And so long-term, part of this experiment with dividend stocks, I plan on allowing this pie chart, this portfolio, to be able to pay a few bills, a few basic bills for me. So when I retire or whatever I decide to do next, I do not have to use my base amount, my value in this to pay any bills. I'll just pay bills through the dividend. So it doesn't necessarily, I don't have to draw from my base amount that I invested in there or the value of it at that time. So let's look at something else. Let's move on so we can look at funding history. Now, this is interesting. Now, you see in 2018, my total amount of investing was $225. 2019 got a little bit higher. And then, of course, 2020 through 2022, you see my investing at $25 a month. So 25 times 12 is $300. $25 a month stayed pretty consistent. 2023, just a little bit more than $25 a month. And 2024, started putting a little bit more in, and then I went back to $25 a month. Once again, we're going to continue to monitor this investment And you see, I really didn't put much in here. So when you add all of this up, that is the money that I put in from my account. So when you add all this up, you're going to come back to that number we added up before, $33,429.46, because that's that original base amount that I put in. So it should come up to about that range. Let's go back to the portfolio. So when we see 3836, a portion of that is the dividends that I reinvested, that money I reinvested. So now we have this value. So I'm up, I'm doing well. Dividend stocks work, they are beneficial. And if you invest in dividend stocks, it should be a long-term hold. In other words, you should be willing to continue to invest blindly, not blindly. You want to pay attention to what's going on, but you want to invest and continue to do it nonstop, whether the market is going up, whether it's going down, whether it's doing well or not. Just continue to invest and be consistent and dollar cost average. Now, when you look at the return on investment, yes, M1 Finance is saying it's 118% return, but they do a money weighted rate of return. I'll show you another way that is doing it. If anyone doesn't know what a dividend stock is, stocks that give you dividends, dividend investing is about buying stocks to receive regular income from the investments in the form of dividends. And I call it in the form of money. Additionally to the stocks going up in value over time. So you receive those monthly, quarterly dividends, but also the stock can increase in value over time as well. And so therefore it makes your position stronger as well. To reward shareholders, if you have shares of a company, fractional shares, if you have shares of a company, for holding their stock, many companies give their shareholders part of the profit in dividends. And that's that money you saw. It motivates investors to hold. Tell yourself, hold on to a stock, and signals a company's confidence. So if you wanted to know what those dividends are, that's what it is, a quick definition. And so it allows you to see, when I show you the activity and these dividends I receive these in monthly. There's an option that I have to reinvest dividends. So I always pick the option to reinvest these dividends. And also, I'm going to show you one more thing. Now, there's a basic way to find out and understand return on investment. And of course, return on investment is a financial ratio used to calculate the benefit of an investor will receive in relation to their investment cost. So it's used to calculate the benefit an investor will receive. So ROI, that's what we call it. I like using this a lot with real estate. When I go to make a real estate deal, I always want to make sure that the ROI is at a good rate. And so when you're trying to determine your return on investment, there are several versions of the ROI formula. The two most commonly used are shown below. And of course, one of the ones that I just use, of course, you look at your return divided by the cost, and that equals your return on investment. ROI, your net income divided by the cost of investment. So of course, I use that one when I'm doing real estate. So to do some basic understanding of it, an investor purchases a property. If it's valued at $500,000, 2 years later, the investor sells the property for $1 million. If you want to learn your ROI, 1 million minus that $500,000, that original investment, that gives you $500,000 profit. And what you do is you divide that 500 profit, that capital gain, divided by the original investment equals 1, or also known as 100%. So in my case, when we look at this situation, the money that I invested in, that $33,429.46, I would subtract that from what we have here, $49.93.21. I could technically subtract it by this as well, the whole 5,000, but we'll keep it simple. So let's look at this. $4,993.21 minus $3,429.46. That equals $1,563.75. So we have taken and basically that should be these two. When you add these two up together, it should be that amount. Now, divided by, keep in mind, over here, now we have to divide it by the original investment amount. So divided by 3429.46. So my return is almost 46%, which is amazing. You know, if you can make about 10%, 10 to 12%, that's pretty good. But of course, you see right here, it's almost 46% ROI, which is awesome. So that means that my investments are doing amazing. I'm still profitable. They'll continue to grow. It will continue to grow. I'm going to continue to put $25 a month in it. Every once in a while, I might put a little bit more, and we'll continue to monitor this and see how it grows. And eventually, we'll be able to see how much money I make every month with this investment. And eventually, hopefully, it'll pay the water bill or the light bill or who knows, the cell phone bill. But either way, it has my money working for me. It has my money multitasking for my benefit. And that's what you want. You want to create assets and platforms, situations, investments to where your money is not just sitting in your banking account 24/7, not doing anything for you, but in good quality investments to where your money is working for you. Feel free, please, if you have any questions, ask questions, comment, like, subscribe, share this information with someone else so that they can learn that having dividend stocks and making proper investments work for your benefit long term. I can cash out any of this whenever I choose to. It's pretty simple. Like I said, I'll do another video that shows the function of how to function and use the M1 Finance platform. But if I did want to sell, if I do want to sell, I can click that button and sell. I can buy, I can make edits, I can rebalance. There's a lot of cool things that I can do. And of course, I can do research as well, which is pretty cool. There's a link to do research when you're looking to buy other stocks as well. Be blessed. And once again, I appreciate for you coming to the huddle and joining the team as we discuss dividend stocks. I look forward to seeing you invest in dividend stocks. I'll leave the link for M1 Finance. So if you are interested in just opening up an account and getting started, the link will be in the bio in the description. That way you can click the link and you're not going to something foreign, or you have to go hunting for the actual M1 Finance so you don't get scammed or anything. I'll use the actual link for M1 Finance in the description. Click on it, open up an account and get your process started. You can decide how much you put in here monthly. You can decide how much you put in monthly. It's not a required minimum amount or maximum amount. You can start with whatever works for your budget. And it's important. Make sure that you do what works for your budget. Anytime I put money in here, it's money that I don't need. It's something that I can go without. So whether this chart is going up or down, I'm going to sleep well at night. You guys can do this. I've done it. I've shown you how simple it is. It doesn't take much, and you can take your dividend stock portfolio from the ground all the way to the moon.